What's up, guys?
We're back.
We're back. And we got a pretty good video today, I think, because many of you who are Disney fans know that last night there was a ton of announcements, really, really cool stuff that is coming out. And so we're just going to talk a little bit, do a little bit of a D23 recap. For those who don't know what D23 is, D23 is actually a huge annual convention that Disney has that covers movies, gaming, the parks and experiences, literally the entire gambit, the entire company comes out for it. It's open to the public. You can go if you would like to. It's in Anaheim, California. A really, really cool place to be. Hopefully next year, fingers crossed. Yeah. No. We'll talk about that later. Basically, we're just going to go through a quick recap, kind of tell you guys what some of our favorite stuff was, what we may be a little jittery about, and then kind of just run through and see maybe what the boys would be excited about too. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I feel like that's the first thing that people think about when they think about Disney and the updates is like, well, what is that going to mean for my kids?
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
For you and I, it's what does that mean for us? But yeah, I guess we have to think about them too. We can't just be Disney adults.
Yeah, unfortunately. But December, we may. I don't know. Stay
That's true.
posted.
Yeah, December we may.
We got
We'll
some
see.
special content coming then too. So I guess first question would be, what are you most excited about from all of the announcements from the D23 Experience panel yesterday?
Well, if you guys have been following along on our Instagram, which is connected to our Wonder Makers Travel, Erica and Jordan Mobley Facebook site, our Instagram handle is Mobley Magic and Mischief, if you aren't aware. But if you've been following along, then you know about all of these updates now because we were feverishly updating you guys
Oh yeah.
last night into today about it. But I think I don't know, like I'm really, really excited about Monsters Inc. getting their own part of a
Can't
land
wait.
in Disney's Hollywood Studios. I want to be really excited for all of the international news, but I also know that it's going to be a while for us to get over there because our kids are young. So I have to be excited at a distance, which is kind of a bummer. But I know a lot of people that are interested in international travel. And so if you are, Disney has some really awesome updates for Disneyland Paris, Shanghai, Hong Kong. Really awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what I was most excited about was Paris getting the whole Frozen land. That was pretty cool. The Zootopia land that they're doing there, which is going to be really awesome. The rebrand to the adventure kind of theme, that was really cool to see. So Paris might be the next stop. We missed the Olympics, but we might not miss Disneyland Paris. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that too. And Monsters Inc. for sure. That's going to be a really incredible one to watch. The roller coaster that they're doing, the doors.
That's going to be awesome.
I mean, everybody who watched Monsters Inc. growing up literally was like, I want to ride that freaking
Yeah,
door.
I want to ride that door. Absolutely. I want to
door.
ride that door.
So-
But it is a little bit concerning because it's like, where's it going to go?
I don't know. I mean, well, they did have a little scale model, like behind the scenes thing, so we might have to pop that up on the screen or something and see if we can't look
I
at
mean,
what that is. So,
geographically. What we're really worried about is that it's going to
Oh,
take over Muppets.
anybody who knows me knows that I personally have a huge attachment to the Muppets and Jim Henson in general. Grew up watching Sesame Street like feverishly, and then just grew up on the Muppets a ton. Love the Muppets. So Muppet 3D, Muppet Vision 3D, that's one of my favorite attractions in Hollywood Studios, and just that whole land there, Pizza Rizzo, all that kind of stuff. And so if it goes there, it is going to break my heart just a little bit, but I can still understand why they do that. Is a much more relevant franchise, Monsters Inc., than the Muppets maybe, because kids these days are not really watching the Muppets. So I get it, but I will still be heartbroken for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of surprises for us yesterday
Yeah.
and the day before, and then today's the last day. So we'll have a few more updates for you. But the big, like, entertainment and parks news was yesterday, and they surprised us at the very end with Villains
Villain
World
Land is
or
going to be
Land
yeah, Villain
Land
Land.
World Land.
I mean, it will transport you to a different world for sure.
That's
You know,
true.
a very
Yeah,
evil kind of conniving world, but
they're like really into these like this sort of villains and heroes like
oh yeah,
play off of each other right now because even the Disney Destiny, which by the way the bookings for that opens to the public September 12th, so really excited for that. If you're a Castaway K member, then it's a little bit sooner. If you're a Pearl, I think it's like September 6th
yeah,
or
it's super
7th,
soon.
something
It's coming
really
up in a couple weeks.
early.
Yeah.
But of course, when you're Pearl, like you've been on 1,000,001 cruise
Well,
ships.
I would imagine that if you're Pearl, you probably already know. You don't need us to tell you that it opens on September 6th. You're like, yeah, I'm on September 5th at 11:59. I'll be on my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so
Dedicated.
I'm sure
for
that they would
sure.
already know that.
We'll be
Pearl's
there
like
one
up
day.
there, yeah, for sure. But I'm excited about that too. That's pretty good. Speaking of surprise, I was super surprised to see the addition of 4 new cruise ships.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That was
insane.
insane.
I mean, we don't have any theming news on that or
No
any kind
theming,
of
no
how big
itinerary,
they're going to be.
no port of call.
No, none of that stuff yet. But it just to see them add another 4 after this year of
Bringing
adding,
it to 13 in the total.
they added 3 in just the past 2 years.
I know.
Oh, sorry, 4. They added 4 in the past
It's
2 years if you
insane.
include the adventure in Singapore. So they added so many already, and then to add an additional 4 over the next 5 years is incredible. So anxiously awaiting that. That was a big surprise.
That was a really big surprise. Yeah, that was a big surprise for me too. But then it got me thinking, like maybe they're going to discontinue the Magic. You know, it's the first ship in the Disney fleet. But Jordan, I know you think that maybe they'll just like refurbish it.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful ship. It's a smaller ship, which is super nice for like a first time cruiser because the ships can be really big and they can be overwhelming for some. I know for us, we're kind of like go big or go home. So
Yeah.
our first cruise on Disney Cruise Lines was actually
The Wish.
The Wish, yeah, it was the Wish. And so we are kind of attached to the Wish. We're going on the Wish again early next year, but we're also waiting for the Destiny, which is the sister ship to the Wish.
Same layout and stuff like that.
But the layout is huge. I mean, I think there's like capacity is like 4,000 people, so it's a lot. But with Magic, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate, but you still get that like beautiful, like high level Disney service. Obviously, the food is amazing. Still, the shows are top quality, and
the shows.
it's it's a wonderful, wonderful like entry to Disney Cruise Line's ship, or if you just want that nostalgic sort of sail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad, like if they do away with it because they have the others. So hopefully they don't.
I just don't think they get rid of their flagship. I think literally, I mean, it's the literal definition of a flagship.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to maintain that. I think they do a refurb on it and they maybe put it out to sail out of a couple of different, maybe smaller ports or something like that to make room for the others. But I don't see them doing away with it. But who knows? I mean,
Yeah, who knows?
There's a lot of ships in the fleet now, and I think that maybe it ends up being that they just have to, for maintenance purposes, retire that one. So we'll
I
see.
feel like one of the new 4 ships, or maybe one of the older ships, one of them is going to be out of New York. I feel like people have been begging to have a ship back porting in New York, and I feel like it would service a lot of fans, a lot of people who are really interested in a Disney cruise but don't necessarily want to fly all the way or drive all the way down to Florida, or over to California
Yeah,
or
for
Vancouver,
For sure.
Asia,
Yeah, there's a lot of different
Southampton.
places. Yeah, I think that you're right. I think they may do something like that. I know that obviously with all the new announcements, they've all been kind of in the same area out of Port Canaveral or out of Florida in general. And so I don't know. I mean, it might be something. It might be time to kind of branch out. I know obviously, the Disney Adventure is out of Singapore, which is like way opposite. Other end of the world.
Yeah, but a reason to go.
but a good
because
reason
now
to go.
I'm like, well, I gotta get over there now. I just wanted to go to Singapore, but
Yeah. for
now
sure.
I like really have a reason.
So speaking of Destiny, and obviously if you haven't heard about Destiny, Destiny is the newest ship in the fleet that is going to essentially be heroes versus villains as a theme on the ship. Fitting when you talk about how they've just announced a villain land. So, question for you: who is your favorite Disney villain?
Oh,
It's a tough one. It's hard.
that is a hard question. It wasn't one that I was really prepared for, to be honest.
Got to be
I
quick.
really like the villain, and I forgot his name though, but it's the chef from one of my favorite Disney movies, Ratatouille. Because he's short and silly and round in all of the right places. Because he's a great chef and he eats good and
Fair.
he's so over the top and ridiculous, and I just he just cracks me up when he realizes that Remy is a rat and no one believes him and he thinks he's going crazy himself, and he goes over above and beyond to make sure that he is caught, and he still is never caught. And
Yeah. Yeah.
his journey in parallel throughout the movie, I never really liked him because obviously he's a villain, but I liked him as much as I could, and I thought he was funny.
I think you got to defend the guy. I think that if there is a kitchen that there are hundreds of rats and one of those rats is my chef cooking my food, I'm pretty sure that guy was right. I don't know how else to really spin it there.
He was a horrible person.
That guy's on the right track there. I don't think that that's really that far off of what you're supposed
I
to
think that he
or how you're
needs to
supposed to
leave
react.
them alone.
Oh, boy.
They're
Okay.
in there doing their rat thing.
We're gonna get Erica a rat chef, and we're gonna see how that goes over. So her
And
ratatouille will be prepared.
bottom line, the chef should have minded his business.
Well, I'll
That's
say
what I
this.
said.
For me, it has to be, and I think anybody I've ever talked to about this kind of knows my story on this. My favorite Disney villain is by far Gaston. And the reason is because he was right. He was a jerk about it, but he was right. It's so crazy. The beast was literally locking people up in a dungeon. So I don't know how we just glanced past that. But yes, Gaston was correct in trying to save the townspeople and be the hero
But
from
he was
this
so
beast.
pompous and full of himself. He was not a lovable person.
He wasn't. He wasn't a likable guy, but his cause was noble. That's all I'm saying.
Once again,
that's all
with the
I'm saying.
cause is noble. I'm seeing a trend.
Hey, look, man, this is why we're getting Disney villain land, because there are people who identify with some of the maybe, lesser thought of things from the villains and how they think, their perspective.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I guess so. I guess so.
So
well,
what do you think the boys are going to be excited about the most out of these D23?
right, yeah. Well, Cars.
Oh, yeah. Lightning McQueen. Good old
We're getting
Lightning.
Cars Land
We're getting Cars
in
Land.
Frontierland in Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
We're getting
and
2 Cars attractions there.
Absolutely amazing. I am so jealous of Disneyland in California, and in particular California Adventure, because they already have like Cars Land. And I would always see pictures, and I just would wanted to bring the kids there. So now I don't have to go too far from home. Although there's always a great excuse to head over to Disneyland
I wouldn't mind.
and the California
Yeah, I
Adventure.
wouldn't mind. I don't think the kids would mind either.
But no, I'm excited because our kids are obsessed with cars. And yeah, it just seems like it would be really fun. Especially if you're staying at Art of Animation and you're staying in the Cars suite, then you can kind of have like a fully immersive Cars experience
Yeah.
with your kids. So that might be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you drive there, it's just cars everywhere.
Cars.
So yeah, I think that's a good one. I think Cars is definitely one that they're going to really enjoy.
What about you?
I think that they are going to. I don't know. I think that they're going to really love the whole Encanto
Oh
and
yeah.
Coco journey there. They love
A lot
bright
of
color.
water rides though, right?
Yeah, there was, but a lot of cool things for the littles to do, and then on top of that, they love bright colors. They love the kind of the flamboyant. Obviously anybody who knows the
Yeah,
boys
like
know
the
the
vibrance
vibrant
and
colors. The really, they're really attracted to kind of just
the
wild out there kind of
energy.
concepts and energy. So I think that is something they're gonna really love. It might be a sleeper. I think that a lot of people may sleep on is the Encanto and the Coco
Yeah, I
announcements.
could see that happening too. The music, the colors, the
It's gonna be amazing.
vibrance, the
Oh yeah.
liveliness is kind of undeniable. I'm personally excited for
Oh
those
yeah.
too. Yeah, it seems like they're gonna be really beautiful. Now, where they're gonna go,
Well, they're
I
going to.
don't know.
It's Animal Kingdom, so it's gonna be
I know, but like my question is,
kind of around.
how does that fit in? I don't know. But knowing Disney, they're going to tie it in beautifully and you're going to be like, "Yep, that's right. That's where it should have been all along."
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Well, we're about 15 minutes now, so if you're still hanging with us, thank you. And that's kind of our chat and our review. But we'd like to hear from you. Like what are you excited about?
yeah.
If you tuned into D23 or if you saw our posts about the updates, what are you most looking forward to? Um, and maybe what are some of the things that surprised you? And do you have any concerns about any of the changes or
Yeah.
updates that you heard about?
I mean, some of this stuff breaks ground like next week. I
Yeah,
mean,
literally.
literally. And
I know.
some of them have already broken ground. So I think that's pretty cool. One I forgot that is going to be incredible. It's in California, but the additions to the Avengers campus.
Oh, well, yeah,
That's
that's
going to be
huge.
just
That's a
so
whole other
huge, super
video.
cool. Yeah, we could do a whole different video on that, but that's something that's going to be really awesome. The Flight Lab that they announced, in Stark Industries, that's just going to be super cool. So any Marvel heads out there who want to head to California, that's going to be really awesome in the next couple of years.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Obviously, we want to know kind of what your thoughts are on all this stuff, and
Yeah,
we've got time, so come and chat with us.
yeah. And until then, we'll see you real soon.
See ya.
Bye.